Hello, everybody. This is your reading lesson for Monday, March 1st. All right, boys and girls, I hope you had a great weekend. So, we are still on the topic of animals and reading. We're still in Unit 4. This is Unit 4, Week 3. And our topic this week is about how do animals survive in nature? What do they do, or what do they have, like body-wise or something like that helps them survive in nature? So this is in your little book. This picture is a beautiful eagle, and it says survivors. And so our essential question is, how do animals survive in nature? So let's think about that. Can you think of one way, and you'll have to think of a specific animal maybe, how that animal survives in nature? And just tell me, even though I can't really hear you. Okay, and you might have said, because I don't really know, but you might have said that an animal can find its own food, knows how to find food, because it needs that to survive, right? Maybe an animal knows how to do something, like birds know how to build a nest to keep their babies safe and to stay in. So there are lots of different things of how animals survive in nature. And we're going to have stories this week about that. Okay, so let's look at some of our new vocabulary words we're going to learn and what they mean. Turn that off. Okay, so look at this picture. And this word is survive. Survive means what? To stay alive, right? Right. To survive is to continue to live or to stay alive. A camel can survive without food or water for a long time, because the camels can store water, and so then they don't need to find water for a long time. Okay, another word is provide. To provide is to give what is needed. So who provides you with the food you eat or the clothes you wear? Right, parents or grandparents, right? An example in this picture, our school provides each child with lunch. So schools provide lunch. And even if you're home, like you're at home, you can even get lunch from the school. You can go pick it up. All right, another word this week, communicate. To communicate means to talk, or, because animals can't talk, right? They exchange messages. So an animal can still communicate by using body language. They can make noises. So communicate is to exchange messages. If I'm really happy to see you, I might smile and wave, and that shows that I'm happy to see you. So that's communication also. Dogs can communicate by barking. And they can bark for different reasons. They can be excited, they can be mad, they can be scared. Okay, and this word, superior. Superior means much better than. So think of like super is like great, superior is much better than. So a dog's sense of smell is superior to a human's. They can smell so much better than we can. Superior. Oh, and this is a good one. This one is wilderness. Wilderness is a wild, natural area. So you could see the wilderness in the picture. Hikers sometimes see deer in the wilderness. Okay, so we get 5 words here. Provide is to give what you need. Survive is to stay alive. Communicate, to talk or to give messages. Oop, I'm dropping them all here. Superior is much better than. And wilderness is a natural wild area. Hasn't been touched by humans where it's changed at all. It's just how it naturally is. Okay. So those were our vocabulary because, like we said this week, we're talking about how animals survive in nature. So how about we read our vocabulary story? Can you see what that is? Do you know what those are flying? Geese. Geese, and they're flying in a V. Do you know why they fly in a V? Let's see if it tells us on the card. If it doesn't, then I will tell you. You might already know. It's hard to survive. Oops, sorry, I didn't give you the title. Animals in Winter. It's hard to survive in nature, so it's hard to stay alive when you're in nature. Animals need to find food to protect themselves from other animals and to find shelter and warmth in harsh weather. Like, ooh, cold or really hot or really cold. Just as human beings do, animals find ways to survive in cold weather. During the cold winter months, some animals migrate to areas that are warmer or have more food. Geese are birds that migrate. Every fall, as the cold sets in and the plants freeze, geese head south in search of green grass and plants to eat. If you look up and see geese flying in a V formation, they are migrating. The V shape helps them to fly. It breaks up the air pushing against their bodies. It also helps the geese to communicate with each other. So when they fly together like that, the wind can't hit them as easily, the air, so it kind of protects them, except for the poor little guy up front, right? So they take turns being up there. When he gets tired, he'll move back in line and somebody else will move forward. It's kind of neat, isn't it? That they know to do that. So they go south to warmer weather and find food. Okay. The word you're going to hear on this page is provide, where something provides you with what you need, gives you what you need. Not all animals migrate to survive the winter. Some stay in the same place throughout the year. They have other ways to survive. Squirrels gather extra food in the fall to help them get through the winter. Most squirrels eat only food that comes from plants, such as nuts, seeds, and fruits. These foods can be hard to find in the winter time, so the squirrels get busy in the fall. They gather more food than they can eat at one time. Then they hide it. But they don't put all the food in one place. They scatter batches of nuts and seeds in hiding places all over their territory. If another animal discovers one of the hiding spots, they won't get all the squirrel's food. The food that a squirrel hides will provide meals for it through the long winter. I have a squirrel in my backyard, and sometimes I think that my dogs find his little hiding places and they start to eat his food. Poor little squirrel. Okay, so some animals fly south and go to warmer places. Some animals stay here, like squirrels. Okay, on this page we're going to hear wilderness. Place where no people live. It's natural. The black bear, is another animal that stays in one place during the winter months. It doesn't store up food for the winter like the squirrel. Instead, a black bear spends the winter, sleeping. Black bears live in the forests, mountains, and other wilderness areas. In the summer, the bears eat as much food as they can. As the weather gets colder in autumn, their food supply shrinks. So the bears prepare to hibernate or sleep through the winter. When a bear hibernates, its heart beats more slowly. It uses less energy than it does when it is awake. The bears make homes called dens in caves, in piles of leaves and sticks, or even in tree holes. When they're ready to hibernate, they crawl into the den. They roll into a ball to stay warm. Then they sleep all winter long. So that's kind of neat that their heart rate slows down and they don't use a lot of energy, so they don't need all that extra food. They have some food stored in their bellies. And they sleep the winter away. Okay, superior, something that is much better than something else, is on this page.
Hey, staff, my husband was kind of nice and he shared.
There's a
Oh, Trudy told me I can't.
Mrs. Banks is talking over the
But I
intercom.
will.
Hold on a minute.
Chad brought over a bunch of
pause
carriage
you.
house.
Okay, I'm back. Mrs. Banks was making an announcement because it's just a teacher day today. I'm gonna make sure you're running here. Yep. Okay, last page. And what do we see here? Oh, one of my favorites, a little otter, a mountain goat. Animals in the wilderness need to be warm in order to stay alive. Their fur or hair can help them to keep warm in cold weather, just as a coat or sweater can help you to keep warm and cozy. Mountain goats live in mountains that are cold and snowy in winter. They have two kinds of hair to keep them warm. Close to their skin, they have a very fine fur between 2 and 3 inches long. During the winter, mountain goats grow thick hairs called guard hairs on top of their fur. These hairs can be up to 8 inches long. Sea otters are expert swimmers that live in freezing cold oceans. Otters are able to stay warm thanks to their heavy fur. This fur is so thick that it is superior to any other animal's fur. Like mountain goats, otters have 2 layers of hair. Their top hairs are waterproof. Whether animals migrate, hide food, hibernate, or have warm fur, they all have special ways to survive the long winter. So different animals survive the harsh weather in different ways. So the geese do what? They fly south to a warmer place. What do the squirrels do? They stay here, don't they? They have their little hiding places of food that they stored in the fall. Bears sleep. They curl up and sleep. And otters and mountain goats can survive in the winter with their thick fur, and they're able to still find food. Okay. So that's some ways that animals survive in nature. All right. Now, each week we're going to get the 2 new vocabulary words that we learn all about what they mean. We have to be able to read them. We're going to read them in our stories, but they're not on our spelling test. So if you look over here, because I still have last week's words up here. Remember, last week was danger and partner. Those were our vocabulary words, danger and partner. This week, these words are very similar. It's hard to kind of know the difference. We have search. So it has an EA in it, but it doesn't say E. Search. So what would the bee be searching for in this picture? Right, food, right? So bees search for pollen inside flowers. So if you search, this is what it means. You try to find something by looking for it. So you're searching, you're looking for something. Okay, now this word is almost the same. Can you see it? Seek. Seek. Think about what seek is. Think about hide and seek. Someone hides, and then someone looks for them, right? Isn't that like search? Okay. Seek is to try to hunt or look for something. And search was to try to find something by looking for it. So search, you're looking for it. Seek, you're hunting or looking for something. So they're very similar. A lot of times seek will be used with seek out. I seek out a place to sit. They'll use the word out with it. So here their example is, a bear will seek out ripe berries. So those 2 words are very similar. Search and seek. Oop, go this way. Search and seek. Okay. All right, so let's get out our little books, and can you find this page? go wild. Wait, is that right? Oh no, go back. Go. Try to find the eagle page. That was our story. Try to find the eagle page first. The one I had up here earlier. This one. Got confused there for a second. Survivors. And we talked about this. Oh, and I guess you probably noticed it. I didn't notice he had gotten a fish. He was hunting and got a fish. Or he was seeking out a fish to eat. All right, and then let's turn the page. To here, our words. And I haven't shown you the words yet. So we're going to look at them on here. I did show you these two. Let's look over here. We have search. Do bees search for plants? And seek. A bear will seek out ripe berries. Okay, we're going to look at these. Let me show you the white cards first. And then we'll read those. So look at my white cards here. Okay, so we have over. So it has a long O, magic key, over. Food. More. Start. The AR, which we haven't learned yet, but you might already know it, says R. So you have start. Start. Warm. That one doesn't really say the R sound. So it's a good sight word. Warm. Find. I'm back to over. Look at find and food. They both start with F and end with D. So food, find, over, more, start, warm, and then seek and search. All right, now let's look at them on here. Let me turn up my volume. So we have find.
Find. Fish can find a place to hide.
Okay, let's read that sentence. Fish can find a place to hide. Food.
Food. All animals need food to live.
All animals need food to live.
More. We give it more food to eat.
We give it more food to eat. Over.
Over. The girl jumps over the rope.
The girl jumps over the rope.
Over. This is the word over. Say it with me. Over.
Okay. Warm.
Warm. The lion sat in the warm sun.
The lion sat in the warm sun. Oh, I wish I could go out and sit in the warm sun soon. No more snow. I know I missed one down here, didn't I? Aw. Start. He's so cute.
Start. When does a cub start to walk?
When does a cub start to walk? Oh, isn't he cute? Okay, and we got warm. Okay, so let's look at them one more time. Read me the orange bars. Find, food, more, over, start, warm, search, seek. Okay. Okay, so phonics this week, and you'll have a video for phonics, so I'm not going to go over it too much, but we're looking at our long O spelled with, it can be spelled with an O sometimes. O-A also, 2 vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. O-W and O-E. Okay, I'm going to skip that part. Let's just listen to the word long O words that are in our story. Okay.
Your turn.
Oops, he didn't finish, did he?
Your turn. Look for these words with long O in Go Wild. Go, grow, don't, hippos, hippo, loads, snow, toads, goes, no, so, both, cold, most.
Okay. You would think these would say ah, but if you try ah, it doesn't work. Bath, bath, and it doesn't make a word, so then you try long O, oath, both, and it works. Cold, most. And then these short little words, just like last week with the E, when they're short little words like that, sometimes the O says O. Go, no, so. All right, let's go to our story. Go wild.
Genre.
Oops, that's not working for me.
Genre. Nonfiction. Essential question. How do animals survive in nature? Read about how animals in the wild find food.
It doesn't have a thing, so we'll just say. Oh yeah, it's kind of together with this. They're stuck together. So it's called Go Wild. Okay. Aw, look at the baby hippo. He's adorable. Or she.
Animals need food to live and grow. But all animals don't eat the same things. Some big animals, such as hippos, eat plants. A hippo can eat more than 130 pounds of grass.
Wow. Okay, let's read that together. We have food and more on our page. Animals need food to live and grow. But all animals don't eat the same things. Some big animals, such as hippos, eat plants. A hippo can eat more than 130 pounds of grass. Wow, that's way more than you weigh. And they can eat that much in grass. This baby almost doesn't look real because it's so cute and tiny. But he probably weighs 200 pounds, a baby hippo. So cute. Okay, let's see what this set tells us. So all animals eat different things, and some animals eat the same thing.
Some small animals eat plants too. A squirrel eats loads of plant seeds. They like nuts and grains. A squirrel can smell a nut and find it, even in the snow.
Because his sense of smell like a dog is probably far superior than our smell. Our turn. Some small animals eat plants too. A squirrel eats loads of plant seeds. They like nuts and grains. A squirrel can smell a nut and find it even in the snow. Ooh, what is that? A cheetah?
Some animals hunt and eat other animals. First, this big cat runs fast to catch its meal. Then it will use its claws and teeth to eat.
Ooh. Our turn. Some animals hunt and eat other animals. First, this big cat runs fast to catch its meal. Then it will use its claws and teeth to eat. Look at how his legs go together. He's like the fastest land animal, I think.
Frogs and toads seek insects and snails to eat. A big frog goes after mice, too. But frogs and toads have no teeth, so they must gulp down their meal.
Frogs and toads seek insects and snails to eat. A big frog goes after mice, too. But frogs and toads have no teeth, so they must gulp down their meal. So both of these animals eat other animals. Ooh, so they can't chew, so they just have to swallow it whole. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, an ostrich? What do you think he eats? Let's see.
Some animals eat both plants and animals. An ostrich eats seeds and leaves, but it will search all over for insects, snakes, and lizards as well.
That's strange. A big bird eats insects, snakes, and lizards too. Okay, ready? Some animals eat both plants and animals. An ostrich eats seeds and leaves, but it will search all over for insects, snakes, and lizards as well. Ooh. Okay. Let's see what this turtle eats.
A painted turtle eats plants, fish, and frogs. This reptile lives in lakes and ponds. It likes the cold water at first, but then it will come up on land to get warm.
Okay. A painted turtle eats plants, fish, and frogs. This reptile lives in lakes and ponds. It likes the cold water at first, but then it will come up on land to get warm. Is our word warm? Okay, so he eats plants, fish, and frogs. He eats seeds and leaves, and then insects, snakes, and lizards. So they kind of eat a combination of plants and animals. Oh, look at the bear.
A bear
Oh,
A bear may start its day by eating plants. Next, it may go fishing in a lake. After that, a bear may go hunting. Then, it may even go to a campsite.
here's start. A bear may start its day by eating plants. Next, it may go fishing in a lake. After that, a bear may go hunting. Then it may even go to a campsite. Because what's he going to find at a campsite? People's food. Yeah.
Most bears will eat plants, animals, and people food. Is there any food left here to eat? If so, a bear will find it. In the wild, animals find food in lots of places.
Most bears will eat plants, animals, and people food. Is there any food left here to eat? If so, a bear will find it. In the wild, animals find food in lots of places. And he's looking for food. I wouldn't want to come back to my campsite if he was in my tent. How about you? Okay, so my question for you is, what was this story about? What was the main idea it was telling us about? I know it was telling us specific animals, but what about them? Yes, what they're eating, what they're finding to eat. What do they do to survive and to eat? So, animals, the main idea, animals in the wild eat many different things. It was telling us what they eat. So, what was can you give me an example of one animal and what they eat? Give me a detail of the main idea. Okay, heard some different answers there. And you're right. Each detail from each page is a new detail telling me what the animal is and what they eat. So one detail could be some animals such as hippos eat plants. That was true because they're eating different things. Some animals such as ostriches eat both plants and animals. And you might have told me that detail. Some animals, such as frogs, eat other animals. Okay. And another detail could have been some animals eat plants, other animals, and people food, such as bears, right? Okay. So is it all about animals and how they eat different things, and then it gave us specific ones, so it gave us details about that main idea. Okay, so for tomorrow you are going to be rereading this story. Today, it wouldn't hurt for you to read it again, or maybe pick out a couple pages to reread, just to build your fluency up, okay? Maybe go back and, if you can do the whole story, that would be great. If you don't have the time to do the whole story, maybe pick a couple pages to read, okay, and practice your reading. All right, and let me double check my book here to make sure I've got everything covered. Okay, so, yep. So tomorrow, there won't be a reading video. So tomorrow you'll be Zooming with your teacher, doing your reading tomorrow with your teacher. Or if they're not doing that, then they'll put on Seesaw what you are to do. I think the teachers are going to be Zooming tomorrow. I'm going to be Zooming with mine. I'm going to be Zooming with you, Abby. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be rereading this story and doing something from our workbook, okay? Before we end, let's go over our words one more time. Food. Find, over, more, start, warm, back to food. All right, so like I said, if you can reread that story, that would be great. Even if you can just read a couple pages, okay? And then tomorrow you'll probably be Zooming with your teacher, and you'll see it on Seesaw. All right, so have a great Monday, and I will see you Wednesday again for our next reading video. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.